The U.S. housing market is like a zombie, a scrappy, walking dead creature with a ghastly appetite that just won't quit, no matter how many blows it takes from things people were certain would kill it. Worldwide pandemic, skyrocketing prices, rising interest rates, desperately low inventory. Buyers who don't have patience, decent budgets, and cash reserves are getting positively chewed up in the housing market's zombie path. The doomsayers and the talking head experts have been screaming from the rooftop for a while now about how the real estate market is going to crash and burn, but it hasn't. We're now rolling into quarter 3 of 2023, and while the market isn't as insane as it was in 21 and 22 in terms of the number of properties sold, it certainly hasn't imploded and prices have not tanked. Let's talk about it. Everyone who said not to buy a home since 2020 because the real estate market is going to crash has been wrong. The market has actually appreciated about 40% since 2020. I bet all of those homeowners who didn't listen are resting easy with all their equity right now. But what about 2023, the year the crash was finally supposed to happen, the year the bubble was going to burst? Well, in June, we saw national home prices reach the second highest peak ever, coming in at $426,056 according to Redfin, with the median sales price just 1.5% below the all-time high in May of 2022. If you're interested in what these numbers look like specifically for the greater Iowa City area, be sure to stay until the end of this video because I'll switch gears from national trends to local numbers then. Housing inventory has hit its lowest level since 1999, according to a recent article by Realtor Magazine, and 1/3 of U.S. realtors are reporting that low inventory is preventing their ability to find appropriate listings to show their clients. It's not just a case of realtors complaining for the heck of it, which sometimes feels like it can be an industry pastime. But according to this recent Redfin analysis, 14 of every 1,000 homes changed hands in the first half of 2023 compared to 19 of every 1,000 during the same period in 2019. The pandemic home buying boom depleted supply, and it hasn't been replenished because homeowners are hanging on to those low mortgage rates. The turnover rate for large suburban houses has declined even more. 16 of every 1,000 suburban homes with at least 4 bedrooms have turned over to a new owner in 2023, down from 24 of every 1,000 in 19. Smaller single-family homes in urban areas are the hardest to find. Just 11 of every 1,000 3-bedroom urban homes have changed hands in 23. To look at the numbers in another way, we're seeing anywhere from a 16 to 32% reduction in the number of homes available for sale. Another data point showing just how zombie-like and unstoppable the U.S. housing market is the national list-to-sales price ratio. It's back up to 100.1%, meaning the average U.S. home is selling for more than what it was listed, despite the high interest rates. Would-be home sellers find themselves trapped in this catch-22. They don't want to give up their attractively low mortgage interest rates, and current inventory is so limited that there's unlikely to be a property good enough to make them jump and take the risk. Sellers' lack of motivation to upsize, downsize, and make other lateral moves at normal rates, well, it's exasperating the national inventory crunch. I'm not the only one who's been talking about and worried about this vicious cycle. Listen to what industry experts have to say about it. Today's housing market is extraordinary. It feels hot, even though there are very few homes changing hands, said Redfin chief economist Daryl Fairweather. Sellers are getting multiple offers if their home is priced well and in a desirable area, even though there aren't a lot of buyers out there. That's because house hunters have so few homes to choose from. More buyers are starting to come out of the woodwork as they get used to elevated mortgage rates, which is making the market feel even hotter. While mortgage rates are expected to start gradually declining in response to cooling inflation, they're unlikely to fall enough to bring a critical mass of sellers back to the market anytime soon, meaning housing supply should remain low. When rates do ultimately fall more significantly, prices will likely jump as more buyers move off the sidelines. Low inventory is linked to our rising interest rates, and the rising interest rates are linked to the Fed raising the benchmark interest rate 10 times in the last year. And the hikes in those benchmark interest rates are linked to inflation. A glimmer of good news is that inflation saw its smallest gain in June in more than 2 years. The Labor Department's Consumer Price Index rose last month by only 3% year over year. That's a slower pace than the 9% jump of last summer. Core inflation indicators like gas, energy, and healthcare services are soft. However, shelter inflation is still high. Rents are climbing at a brisk pace. They rose 8.3% year over year, but some people feel like they might be turning a corner. Rents were rising by 8.8% in the earlier part of this year, so this is a slight slowdown. With so many empty apartments now under construction, rents could plateau by next year, predicted Lawrence Young, the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. Inflation, while just starting to fall, still remains above the Federal Reserve's 2% target. They put a pause on another rate hike during their June meeting. However, they have suggested that there still may be 2 more quarter-point rate hikes on the horizon. The next Fed meeting is July 26th. Nationally, 30-year fixed-rate mortgages averaged about 7.089 at the start of the week, and it's July 18th here. Locally, we seem to be about a full point lower. So that's what things are looking like on the housing market on a national level. But what do they look like locally here in the greater Iowa City area? Well, the June 2023 median sold price for single-family houses in the greater Iowa City area, freestanding single-family, not condos, not zero lots, came in at $385,000, according to Iowa City Area Association of Realtors MLS data. That's a 7.24% increase over June of 2022. While prices may still be increasing, inventory is not. There were 145 single-family homes sold in the greater Iowa City area in June of 2023, as compared to 190 in June of 2022. That's a decrease of 23.7%. What are your thoughts on the housing market on both a national and a local level? Are you still worried about a housing crash? Do you still think it's going to happen? Are you holding off putting your home on the market, or are you holding off on making a home purchase? Can I ask you why? What are your predictions for the future? I would love to hear your thoughts all about it. Leave me a comment down below. Hey, it's been fun, and I'll catch you later.